So in today's lecture, we will first learn about the concept of copy on write. So previously we learned about the concept of demand paging. So demand paging is nothing but it's a technique in which the OS never brings a page from the secondary memory to the primary memory unless that is demanded for execution by the process. The pages of the process will be residing on the disk, and those pages of the process will never be brought into primary memory unless that is demanded for execution by the process. That is, till such time a page is required for execution, till that time it will never be brought into memory. In case if it is not required 90% of the time, then 90% of the time such pages are never going to be brought into memory. That concept is called demand paging. Since the pages are brought into memory only based on the demands of the process, it's called as demand paging. So the next technique is called copy on write technique. So in copy on write technique, it is actually a technique which bypasses the need for demand paging itself. In demand paging, we try to improve CPU utilization by never bringing a page into memory unless it is demanded for execution. But when we do process creation using fork system call, and we also use this copy on write technique, then obviously we will not need don't have the need for using demand paging. So what is this? Before going into copy on write technique, we will learn about the fork system call for process creation. So when we know that when we use the fork system call for process creation, it creates a new child process, and all the child processes created using the fork system call will have a copy of the logical address space of the parent process. All the child processes created using the fork system call will have a copy of the logical address space of the parent process, as well as all the pages of the parent process will be copied on to the child process. This is what happens normally when you use a fork system call to create child process. But when you use a fork system call along with the copy on write technique, what happens is that it restricts the number of pages which is allocated to the newly created child processes. So initially, both the parent and the child process will be sharing the same page. No new copy of pages will be created. There will be only one page, and that page will be shared by both the parent processes as well as the child processes during the initial stage of process creation. Later, if one of the process, either the parent process or the child process, tries to modify the shared page, then a copy of that page will be created for whichever process is trying to modify it. So in this way, it provides for more rapid process creation, because we create a copy only when the page is being modified. If it is not modified, copies are never going to be created, and so it facilitates efficient and rapid process creation. So see this diagram. So here you have two processes, process 1 and process 2. These two processes are sharing three pages, page A, page B, and page C. It's because these three pages are there in a common region of the physical memory, and these three pages are there in the virtual address space of both process 1 and process 2. By doing that, the OS ensures that these two processes are sharing these three pages. But then assume that process 1 tries to modify some contents of page C. Let's say it tries to modify the stack register portion of page C. So in that case, a new copy of page C will be created. If process 1 tries to modify the contents of page C, then a new copy of page C will be created. So after that, whatever modifications are done by process 1, all those modifications are done on the copy of page C only, not on the initial page C which was shared with process 2. Then the original page C now belongs to process 2 only. It no longer belongs to process 1. From there on, whatever modifications are done by process 1, that will be only on the copy of page C. Initially, during process creation, the child processes are supposed to have their own copies of the pages of the parent process. But then we defer it, we postpone it until one of these processes makes a change to that page. If one of these processes makes a change to that page, then the OS creates a copy of that page. In case if both the processes, what about the pages page A and page B? In case if page A and page B are never going to be modified, they are always going to be shared among these two processes. Copies of page A and page B will never be created. So this technique is called as copy on write technique. So two things which you have to remember is only the modified copies are going to be created only for the modified pages. If pages are going to remain unmodified, no copies are going to be created. And all such unmodified pages are going to be shared by both the parent and the child processes. Another thing which you have to remember is pages, there will be some pages which cannot be modified. Say for example, in the parent process, if a page contains executable code that cannot be modified by the child process, all such pages will not be marked as copy on write. If a page can be modified, it will be marked as copy on write. If a page cannot be modified, it will not be marked as copy on write. So only those pages which are marked as copy on write can be modified by other processes during this process creation. So if a page cannot be modified, if a page contains non-modifiable information, then the OS will not mark it as copy on write, and such pages cannot be modified by both parent or the child processes. So this is one common technique which is used by all contemporary operating systems like Windows, Linux, and all the Unix family of operating systems. That is all about the concept of copy on write technique and how it is used during process creation.